We can focus our practice entirely upon coming to terms with suffering, our own, that of others, by working on how we habitually and instinctively react to suffering or to life, how we get caught up in cycles of attachment, cycles of fear, cycles of worry, cycles of hatred. The point is not that these mental states cause us to suffer, which of course they often do, but that's actually, again, not the point. The point is, can you live a life that's not inflected by those kinds of emotions and desires and fears? Can you let go of that? And this is, of course, where mindfulness comes into play. Mindfulness is not some marginal exercise in Buddhism. It's right at the core. So I find it extraordinary that something that is so central to the Buddha's vision has found a way of becoming available to people who have no interest in Buddhism whatsoever, and yet have found that by doing these spiritual meditative practices, it has a transformative effect on the quality of their life. But what they're talking about is a practice that's utterly indistinguishable from what a monk in Burma, in a forest, in a cave, is also doing. There's really no difference. The actual practice is the same. And so the approach, this secular approach to the Dharma, by turning what were once truths into tasks, turning what were once beliefs about how suffering emerges into instructions to let go of certain habits of mind, and in having let go of those habits of mind, even momentarily, to allow oneself to come to rest in a still, clear presence of mind that is not driven by those reactive patterns. That is, in fact, nirvana. Nirvana is not a Buddhist heaven. Nirvana is not something that you might attain after years or lifetimes as practice as a Buddhist monastic. Nirvana is actually right here and now. And again, this is not some Zen Buddhist claim. You find it in some of the very earliest passages in the Pali Canon, where the Buddha describes Nibbana as clearly visible, immediate, inviting, uplifting, and personally experienced by the wise. Not personally experienced by the Buddhists, but by the wise. Nirvana constitutes all of those moments in our life when we find ourselves dwelling in a still, clear, non-reactive space. Nirvana is part of our human legacy. It's not an esoteric property discovered by Buddhists. So this third task of seeing the stopping of grasping or reacting is beholding the presence of Nibbana here and now. And in this secular approach, Nibbana ceases, therefore, to be the goal of the practice.